So last time we had discussed about basically the introduction of Apache Pig. During this session, sometime in between, we'll be discussing about the installation procedure also. Mr. Ravi will join us, and he will discuss with you about how to install it, because it's a VM that is shared by Intellipaat, so he would be able to tell you more about it. Look at flavors, which is grunt shell, script, and embedded, and we have looked at different kinds of transformations, operators. Okay. And then the relation, what is meant by fields. Then when we did a couple of other examples also. Let me open up my own VM here. Just look at the last example that we did. I think we created an employee.txt file, and then I ran the filter. Let me just remember this. So we did a filter, relation of rich, sort, and so on. We also did an order by salary in a descending format, and we stored this particular file in a directory. Okay. Now, last session we have seen that there are some data types which are very specific and additional to Apache Pig. Okay. So these are, one is called tuples, the other one is called maps, the other one is called bags. Okay. Now, the understanding tuples and bags is very, very important. Bags is nothing but it's a group of tuples, an ordered set of fields. So this tuple will look something like this. Okay. So this is an example of a tuple. It contains nothing but a set of fields here. Now 3, 8, 10. So another example would be 1 and 2 and 3, like 3 different names. Okay. This is a tuple. And when you have 2 tuples together, like for example, okay, this is called a bag, right? And this is called a tuple. So you can have bags which will consist of, let's say, different product information. So you would have a tuple which is product number is P223, the price is $100, the location is Hawaii, for example. Okay, the place from which the user has bought this particular product. Then you can have another product number. Okay, maybe there was some discount on this. It was bought again from Los Angeles. You have so on and so forth. Right? Again, we can have this one, $100.50, and maybe somewhere in a different area altogether. Okay, so this is called a bag, which consists of 3 tuples. Okay, so understanding this is very important for us. So let us do an example there of tuples, how it looks like. I think so. We created here. Okay, so currently we are in this particular folder. Let me create a tuple, which is tuple.txt. I hope you're all able to see the screen very clearly, and let me just pull this up. Okay, now in this one, I will have 3, 8, 9, one tuple. I'll have another tuple. let's say B7. So in the first column, I have a tuple. I have another column which also consists of another different kind of tuple. Yeah. So I think I have somebody is arrived. So this is a tuple text I have created. Now let me open a new terminal. Now we are in the grunt shell, right? Okay. So what is the first step that you need to do? You need to enter a relation. In the first one, you would have to load the particular file and say load. Okay, this tuple.txt as t1. That's the first column, which is a tuple. t1a is an integer. t1b is an integer. Okay, then I have t1c, which is also an integer, comma t2, which is a tuple. Okay, you have t2a, t2b, t2b, t2c. Yeah, so
one thing, guys, I was here to just convey you how to go about installing pig. All you need to do is just go to your virtual machine. Okay, go to a virtual machine that I've given you. In that, go to applications, then you'll have system tools, and then you'll have your terminal. That's where you've been coding all your stuff. There, just type one thing: sudo yum install pig. Okay, just do that, and in 5 minutes everything would get installed. So can you guys quickly get started and confirm if you're done? All right, is this clear? Yeah, so please do this and confirm once it's done, so that you guys can then continue with your work. Yeah, please start the terminal, do this, and in 2 minutes it will be done for you. It is, I think, 30 MB. It will take maybe 10-15 seconds and you will be done. All you need to do is go to your terminal and just do this. Yeah, I'll be here for a couple of minutes. Please don't worry. Yeah. Yeah, Sanjeev, that's fine. 30 MB, 50 MB, that's fine. Just say yes and just continue. After this, just type pig, and you will exactly see what you saw on Naveen's screen. That is grunt, what you call prompt. What Naveen had on his screen, you will exactly see that. If that happens, you are in sync with Naveen, and then Naveen can basically go ahead with the
okay. Good. I'm glad that you are able to run your the grunt shell here. So while we are speaking this, you can actually copy some of the commands, or you can also execute these commands. In the meanwhile, what I have done is I just copied few other files which are relevant for this session for now, for today actually. So we'll focus on this tuple.txt, the one we have just created. Okay. Now let me open this one. Do a cat of tuple, and this is what we have in our. Okay, there was a question earlier. Somebody asked, doesn't pig recognize the data types automatically? No, pig does not recognize the data types automatically. You need to mention it takes it in the form of byte arrays. I think I mentioned this also. Everything is in this format, byte arrays. Okay. Otherwise, if you specify the schema, then it will take it up. So I have loaded this particular a file here called tuple.txt. Okay, let me just dump and see what is the outcome of that. So it gives me a CSV file. These two tuples will be separated by a comma, 389, comma 456, 145375. Okay. On this, you can say for each, I would like to generate T1 dot T1A. Okay. Now, what would be the result in this case? T1 dot T1A, the output of the particular relation here. When you enter the relation x is equal to, for each a, generate T1 dot T1A, and I'll say T2 dot $0. Okay. Both mean the same. So when I say T1A, it is 3, 1 and 2. T1 is the first tuple. T2 is the second tuple column. So this is all 147258 are part of the T1 tuple in the first column. 456, 375, 958. These are form a part of the T2 tuple in the second column. So when I say T1A gives me 312, and $0 is again the first column. Okay. So now let us dump X. So it should give me these three, the first column here, and the first column and the second tuple. Okay. So see, it gives me the same format, 312 and 439. Okay. This is usually not possible in a flat data model. That's why in the case of the nested models in Trig, you can use tuples, bags, and I'll also explain to you some other examples where you can use the flatten operator also. Okay. So I hope you are able to follow the concept of tuple and bag. If it is unclear, just tell me again, and we will rework it up. Okay. So if you want me to do one example, I can also do that, but let us move forward in this. There are the simple data types and the complex data types of Pig. Okay, so the simple ones are the usual the data types that you see, which is the integer, okay, the float, right, and the long and the double. Everything else forms part of that scenario. Okay. And then in addition to that, you have these complex data types. Okay, so a lot of messages here I can see now. Anyway, let us run this program again. Yeah, sure, I'll repeat it. So what we did was we loaded this file, basically tuple.txt, which consists of two columns. The first column is 47 and 258 tuples. The second column is 456, 375 and 958. Okay, so I have loaded this particular file, and let's go back there. From the grunt, I have given this command. Load tuple.txt as T1, tuple is T1A, the first field. T1B is an integer, T1C is also an integer. The second column, which is T2, I have three fields there, T2A, T2B and T2C. Then I dumped it. After dumping it, you've been able to see this one right there. The default dump format is a CSV format. Okay. Then after that, I did this command. This relation x is equal to, for each A, record of A, generate T1 dot T1A. In the first column, the first fields, the T2 dot $0. It's all the same. So it looks like T1 dot is, yeah, I'm representing this one right there. This is T1. And inside T1, I'm asking it to output 3, 1 and 2. In T2 tuple, I'm asking it to input, basically give the output of 4, 3 and 9. Okay. Once I entered that, I gave the command of dump x. For each record of them, I've got this output. Compare this to this one, 3, 1, 2, 4, 3 and 9. First column. $0 is the first column. All the list of the first fields. Okay, so just open this also, so we can look at it parallelly. So the question is, where did you put your input file? The input file is in this folder, the one we created yesterday. That is very good. Yeah, we'll come to that. When I start group, I'll explain what is the described command. Okay. Now we are still operating in the local grunt mode. Okay. Yeah. So let us just look at the one file which we created, nano input data dot. We have 100, 101, 22, 103. So let me just input another one by repeating the first columns. Okay. So 102 is there. Just repeat 101. I just modified the input data. Okay. Now Control X, Y, enter. In the grunt, let us load this file. If I say A is equal to, again, it will replace the earlier relation. Load input data dot txt using big storage as ID is integer. Okay. Then I have a name, character array, sal is integer. Okay. So I'll do another relation called B is equal to filter A by name equal to, I'll say Harish. I can say this. And when I dump B, it would basically give me that particular record. I can also use Boolean operators. For example, I can say and sal. Should we say sal or salary? Okay. The field should exactly match whatever you have entered while loading the file. It is case sensitive. Greater than, I'll say 13,000. So if both the conditions are fulfilled, then it will give me that record. Okay. So there is some error there in the program. See, whenever no, it's okay. This thing works because whenever you see an error, it will create a log file for you. So you see this log file here. It will create that error. So you can look up that error and then see what is the basic issue there. So error during passing encountered. It gives this one at line 1, so and so column. Okay. Let's just check that one. I think it is double quotes. Encountered. There is spacing error. This, yeah, sorry. You're right. You're right. I got it. So greater than. Yeah. Thanks for that. No, it still gives that error. Yeah, single quote. Okay. No, it is equal to works. I am just I couldn't come out with double quotes and so on. So anyway, so it, double equal works. Yeah, all the Boolean things work, and or all those things work. Okay. The question is, I mean, for both data types, for SQL, it does not. So for integer and character, it works differently. Use the same one. I mean, for a character array, it has to be a single quote. For the integer, it's not required, but these greater than, less than operators will always work. Okay. So what is? Yeah. Sorry, I didn't look at that. So let us dump this. Yeah, it works equal to 2 times works. Okay. So that particular record has come up. So just quickly going forward, C is equal to for D. I can, or you can say, we can also do this. B is equal to filter A. Let me just do it again. Salary dividend 14. Okay. So I can use a new relation. C is equal to for each B. I can generate the upper also. I can change the case, uppercase, lowercase. All those things are possible. Right? So this is the so all those things we have seen. So this is the local grunt mode.